Very warm welcome to the Right Hook with Meha Bhardwaj. Alter, we look ahead to the match that is coming up today in Cricket World Cup. Finally, we have the Indian team that will play their first game of the tournament. I have with me Rohan Gavaskar, former Indian cricketer, who's very kindly agreed to join us here on this live. So thank you so much for joining us, Rohan. India versus South Africa. The build-up wasn't that great for South Africa simply because Dale Steyn was ruled out. But nevertheless, this is the first game for India. There will be nerves. There will be that anticipation. And what are you most excited about this game?
As I was telling you earlier, I'm happy Dale Steyn ruled out from an Indian fan point of view.
Yeah.
Dale Steyn out. Hopefully Hashim Amla out. Back for the next game, Hashim Amla. So look, as an Indian cricket fan, I wanted. People like close encounters. I don't when India's playing. I want to sit back, relax, and watch India win comfortably.
Yeah, so you're okay with Pakistan, England going into close matches?
Those are the ones I want to be close. The India games I want to be one-sided where we win.
Yeah, okay. So we'll keep talking about it. And the first thing being here for the Indian team is what the team combination would be like. That's the part that everybody is excited about. We want to know whether it's overcast conditions, and if there are overcast conditions, then would you go in with an extra seamer? We've been chatting about this, Rohan and I, and the thing that India will have to decide today going into this match would be whether they want to go in with an extra seamer in Bhuvneshwar Kumar.
I think, yeah, absolutely right. I think there was forecast of intermittent rain, so if that's the case, then it would be cloudy, it would be overcast. And then I think they would go in with the extra seamer in Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Mohammad Shami and Jasprit Bumrah are certainties.
Sure.
So look, I think the toss-up would be between Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Ravindra Jadeja. Because if you look at India's batting, you just get the feeling that the tail starts a little too early. With Jadeja,
that's right.
With Jadeja coming into the lineup, with his batting ability and obviously his fielding ability, it just gives a little bit more solidity to the Indian batting lineup. So Jadeja might have a role to play, but like I said, if it's overcast conditions, then I'd definitely go with Bhuvneshwar Kumar.
Yeah, but that will really be the point that the management would be discussing right now as we speak as well. The campaign so far, India haven't started the campaign, so we've got the warm-up games. They lost to New Zealand, and this is one of the things going into this tournament would be very important, Rohan, because you're not going to get. Things are not going to be as straightforward. Your openers will have to, counter the moving ball, especially in the first 10 overs, overcast conditions, and we've seen that in the World Cup. That is something they'll have to work on.
Not just in this game, we saw it in this game as well against Bangladesh. It was only thanks to KL Rahul and MS Dhoni that we got to that score of around 350, and then we beat them by 95 runs. So the openers will have to get their act together. But look, I'm pretty sure they will. They're quality players, both Rohit and Shikhar. And come the big game, I'm sure these guys will produce.
That's right. South Africa, for them, things haven't been going too well. Lost to Bangladesh by 21 runs. And then the first game against England, comprehensively beaten by England. Okay then, Rose Bowl and what this has to offer. The interesting thing that I was reading about, and we have this, 8 of the last 10 matches, Rohan, here have been won by sides batting first. So toss crucial, but then India is also a team with Virat Kohli wanting to chase. This is going to be interesting for both the teams and who wins the toss and how they go about it.
These stats, data, they're there to guide you.
Yeah.
But on the day, you've got to take a decision. If it's overcast, you're not going to look at 8 out of 10 matches India have won. The teams batting first have won. You look at what the conditions are prevalent. You'll also look at the fact it's a 10:30 start. Normally starts a little later in England. It being a 10:30 start, and also if you look at the 2 warm-up games that we've played, we've not started off well, batting first. So that might play on Virat Kohli's mind. So if he does win the toss, I get the feeling that he'd opt to field first.
Now they're saying that it is pitch number 11 that they will use, and there was some grass on it which has been shaved off, so likely to be a flat wicket. Overcast conditions of course will be an issue, but 311, that's the average first innings score, so you can expect a lot of runs being scored at the Rose Bowl. Then the key players for India, Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma and MS Dhoni, and they are so important, Rohan. I mean, we cannot emphasize this enough that Virat Kohli, if he has a good tournament, as Ricky Ponting said before the World Cup started, it's going to be India all the way.
If Virat Kohli has a slightly above average tournament, the average for him in one day is beyond average for normal
Absolutely.
players. So if he has a slightly above average tournament, that's
Yeah.
an excellent tournament for other players. So if he has a
Sure.
slightly above average tournament, India all the way.
Yeah, and then there is MS Dhoni and how different he's been. We know what he can do for the team, but it's the batting that MS Dhoni right now has been working on, and he's been, giving the results in the batting department. Of course, the best wicketkeeper in the tournament. Top bowlers: Jasprit Bumrah, Kuldeep Yadav, and Mohammad Shami. And who would have thought, though, Rohan, going into this tournament, that you would have had a Mohammad Shami in white ball cricket going into the World Cup? I mean, this is. Things change so quickly.
Things change so quickly, and for me, he is now a certainty in the 11.
Yeah.
It's not just the fact that he's in the World Cup squad. He's
Yeah.
a certainty along with Jasprit Bumrah. Kuldeep Yadav's there on number 2, but he's not a certainty.
Yeah.
There will be a toss-up
Yeah.
between Kuldeep Yadav and Chahal. I think Chahal will get the look in. Kuldeep Yadav might be the second spinner if they play. Again, depending on conditions, because we've spoken about Jadeja. I think Jadeja might even pip Kuldeep Yadav into
Yeah.
the playing 11. But Mohammad Shami, you're absolutely right. Who would have thought? But look at it. I mean, he's just over the last year and a half come into his own as a bowler. Red ball cricket,
And to think
white
that
ball
this
cricket.
happened because Jasprit Bumrah was injured.
He
comes in and
in.
takes over, and now Bhuvneshwar has to find a place.
It's that when opportunity knocks, invite
Yeah.
him for dinner, invite him or her. Let me
All right, so those are the top bowlers, but it'll really be about this Indian team and how they do well together. For the South Africans, it is not going to be easy. The talking points then for the Indian team, number 4 spot. Again, how things have changed from Ambati Raidu to, there was a time when they tried Dinesh Karthik as well, because he was slotted in at number 4 for a lot of matches. Now you have Vijay Shankar, of course.
And
now you have KL Rahul. But there's no discussion over it. It is going to be KL.
There shouldn't be. I mean, there might be discussion over it, but there shouldn't be, because I think we've spoken about this. I think KL Rahul is an absolutely fantastic player. He's got the ability and the temperament to make that switch from opening the batting to number 4. And as an opener, someone who opens, in case as we've seen in that game against Bangladesh,
you lose your openers early.
He's there to anchor the innings, sort of, with MS Dhoni. So look, I think it's a no-brainer that he should at least start the tournament, get a few matches at number 4.
And then phenomenal top order, Shikhar Dhawan, can up his game. He loves playing in ICC and multiple team tournaments. His average increases, strike rate gets better. So that's one of the strengths for the Indian team. But Kedar Jadhav's recent form and also coming back from an injury, how much of an impact would that have on first the team management, how they're going to look at him? Will they say, okay, Kedar Jadhav's fit, let's just draft him in. Let's not look at the other players.
I think they would.
Okay.
I think because he's been an integral part of this team. Kedar Jadhav's form would have worried me, but it doesn't now because we've got Hardik Pandya back in form and in tremendous form. So there was a stage 6 months ago, 8 months ago, where I thought Kedar Jadhav was one of those players which needed to be wrapped up in cotton wool, along with Jasprit Bumrah and Virat Kohli for the World Cup, because I thought he was irreplaceable. But now with Hardik Pandya doing what he has in the IPL and the kind of batting form he's in, I'm not so worried about Kedar Jadhav. So again, I think Kedar will start if he's fit, because he can chip in with his bowling. And in his batting, he's shown us enough over the last year or so that he can, again, if India 4 down, 3 down, he comes, takes his time and then has a flourish in the end. If you need a finisher in the last 6 overs, he can do that. He does a dual role over there, so I think he should be a certainty in the 11.
All right, so Kedar Jadhav gets a thumbs up from Rohan. MS Dhoni's composure and experience, and you can't have enough of it going into this World Cup. I mean, I know this is also a World Cup where Virat Kohli has to step out of MS Dhoni's shadow, make it his own World Cup. But hey, there is MSD, and with the kind of match situation awareness that MSD has, he's going to keep going back to him.
And why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's the sign of an intelligent person, captain, leader, to go to one of your trusted marshals, someone who's got the experience, someone who has the know-how. If you're not going to rely on your generals, it's not going to work.
What are you going to do? Okay, then the South Africa players, and the key players for South Africa, Quinton de Kock, and a lot will depend on how Quinton de Kock bats, because he loves batting against India. He's already got 500s. He's a much better player. He just gets going against India, so a lot will depend on him. Faf du Plessis, again, because they don't have the kind of bowling attack they would have liked with the injuries, it's the batsmen now who have to do the job. You know, get the extra runs, try to get the score beyond the opposition's reach.
And I think that is why I get the feeling, like you said, you know, batsmen will have to do the job. I get the feeling that South Africa would also like to chase. They would not want to set a total because they're not sure whether the bowlers would be good enough to sort of, with the Indian batting lineup, you know, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, MS Dhoni, what total is enough? They wouldn't want to sort of second guess that.
Sure.
But if they're going to rely on their batting, if batting is going to take the responsibility of trying to get this win, then they've got to say, okay, listen, you know, whatever the bowlers, you know, how many ever runs India score, we'll try and chase it down because the batting's our strength. So I think that's another reason why South Africa may want to chase.
Okay, the bowlers then for them, Kagiso Rabada, Imran Tahir and Pekluk Wayo. Now, a lot will also depend on Imran Tahir in the absence of their first choice pacers. He's got the role now to not just take the wickets, restrict when needed. So he's really going to be, South Africa will be dependent on these two.
These two, absolutely.
I mean, which is exactly what Faf du Plessis was saying, that you can have a Chris Morris in, but
yeah, it's going to come down to Rabada and Tahir. The good thing, again, I'm going to go back to one of our big tournaments, the IPL, is that a lot of our players would have played against them. In the IPL, MS Dhoni would have played Imran Tahir plenty of times in the nets. You know, Rabada, we know what he's capable of. He was excellent in the IPL. But hearing Virat Kohli, he said we've played Rabada before. We respect his abilities, but I don't think, you know, Virat or any of the Indian batsmen are unduly worried about any bowler.
But the battle that I'm looking forward to is Kagiso Rabada and Virat Kohli, because Rabada called him immature.
Well, look, you know,
to which Virat Kohli said in the press conference,
you never really want to poke the bear. You know, you should never poke the bear.
But Virat Kohli had a fitting reply, and a very different one from what you expect from someone like a Virat Kohli who can get excited pretty quickly. He said, we'll talk man to man. You know, if he said that, I don't know about it, but maybe we'll talk about it.
Which is a great reply.
Yeah. Okay, the talking points for them. There are so many below par all-rounders, injury to Steyn and Ngidi, weakening their pace attack, strong top order, which is great because they will be, you know, if Hashim Amla comes back, you have quality batsmen in Quinton de Kock, Hashim Amla, Aiden Markram. So you look at their batting, it's a good batting lineup and they've done well. It's not that they haven't. These guys have done well in the, Then there is Imran Tahir, the X factors, and it's a strong fielding side. Now, this is what I know all of our viewers wait for, which is a prediction for the playing 11, because all of them are playing fantasy cricket these days. So, Rohan, we'll try to simplify it, tell them what we think are the players. So we're going to give them 5 to 6 players from each team that we think they should choose in their lineup. But for India's likely playing 11, do you agree with this one? Or do you think that you'll need a change? Okay,
I think Kuldeep Yadav might be a change. I think we'll see either
so you get
Jadeja
or a Bhuvneshwar. Because they also got an extended net session. You know that the team management is thinking of it. Now the stars are for the players that I have chosen in my team, or I think who will do well today. It's completely a guess, guys. I have no prior information, nothing. But what about you, Rohan? Do you agree with these players? Or do you think?
Well, I think any fantasy game or any game that you play, Virat Kohli is a shoo-in, as is Jasprit Bumrah. I think these two are absolute certainties, and they should be in your 11. There's always be a tie-up for, say, someone like a Rohit Sharma and a KL Rahul or a Shikhar Dhawan, and then in those cases you go with your gut. You know,
exactly.
And Rohit Sharma again on his day is one of those. In an ODI game, I would go with Rohit Sharma because if he gets set, he's a 200 man. He's a 150, 200 man, and that's what you want. So I'd go with Rohit Sharma. Kuldeep, you've got Kuldeep Yadav.
I have got Kuldeep, but can I tell you, I really think that it'll be a choice between Chahal. I know that they are Bangalore teammates and all of that, and you know Kuldeep's not in form. Figured him out. I'd still take him in, but you can say what you want to.
In a fantasy game, I always try to pick my 11 where I know players are certainties. So I'd go with someone like a Mohammad Shami because you know, from what we've heard about it being overcast and conditions which might favor the seam bowlers, then I'd go with Bumrah and Mohammad Shami. And obviously I'd go with Rohit, Virat and Hardik.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then that's India's likely playing 11 for South Africa. Quinton de Kock, Hashim Amla right at the top. Faf du Plessis, Aiden Markram comes in at number 3. Faf du Plessis, Van der Dusen, JP Duminy, Chris Morris. Pretty much the team that played against England, except for the changes. I don't think Bjorn Hendricks would be available just yet.
Yeah.
But we don't have the information on that. So they'll probably go in with Dwayne Pretorius, who's already there, I think. So this is more or less the team that I think would be would take on the field today. I've gone for the more obvious choices.
And you should, as you should, as you know the players who would play. So Quinton de Kock, Faf. I'd be tempted to get Aiden Markram in.
Okay.
Rabada, yes, because again, and Imran Tahir, because we've identified them as the 2 key bowlers, the match winners in a sense, who could be match winners, potential match winners for South Africa. But I'd be tempted. For Aiden Markram, I'd probably just go for Aiden Markram.
All right, you'd go for Aiden Markram in place of Faf du Plessis. There you have it, guys. These are our players we think who are likely to do well today. But then, who knows? We predicted something else. If you remember, Gaurav was here the other day and we talked of how England and Pakistan and how England in every which way would have won that game, but then everything changed.
Pakistan. My predictions are always wrong. I've got to give you a heads up, guys, that my predictions are always wrong.
Just make sure not to take Aiden Markram in your team. Just go with Faf du Plessis. No, but thank you so much, Rohan, to be a part of this. And, you know, we just try to bring this out for all our viewers on Facebook and Twitter, and you guys get all the latest.
It's so much fun.
Yeah, you guys get all the latest updates here on the Right Hook with us throughout the World Cup. We'll try to get Rohan as and when. There'll be others who'll join us here. So hope that you enjoyed the presentation. It'll be a good game of cricket, and yeah, goodbye. Thanks for watching.